Certainly, Jason, there will be nobody watching this, but that's okay. You should probably take a peek at it. I know that you're back in your home country, it appears, where you're protected by your Constitution. You've exited our Commonwealth. Figured I would start right here real quick, because that's a very accurate photo of what ended up transpiring today. You notice here there were 587 views after your live stream. You had 54 likes, 6 dislikes. You notice it was streamed 14 minutes ago. There are 2 comments, and that's going to be important in a second. And here goes the only visible comment. There's 1. Wait a second. That says 2. Doesn't that say 2? Looks like 2. There's only 1 there, though. That's very puzzling. The reason why that is, you can go troll down my Twitter feed, and I sent this to you. I've sent everything to you because you want to crowdsource the truth. So I'm sharing the truth as I have captured it and the way I see it. So there's a couple of questions that I have. But this is kind of a carrot and stick offering. First of all, I guess I'll toss out the carrot. You are looking for people to help out with your crowdsourcing endeavor, and you seem to have a problem with having a website. Well, I've spoken to someone that I trust, and they're willing to offer you the resources that basically anybody can afford, even somebody like me. You know, someone below you, beneath you. You know, you're kind of in the upper class, you might say. But I will point out real quick before we go further, I am much closer to you in social status than the people that you feel you have the right to go demand answers of. Those people are far above the social ladder as well as the pay grade and influence than you. Far more and a far greater distance between you and them than you and me. So let that resonate for a moment. I have some questions about this. This is a video review, but the video review kind of went wonky because some things popped up, and it's a lot to try to go through. So what I'm going to do is I wrote some notes here that maybe others might want to take a peek at. Let's see if I can get that in that screen real nice. Okay. While you were in London, you complained a lot about cell phone reception while you were using your U.S. carrier-based phone. If you're doing investigative journalism, right? Why wouldn't you, you know, this was quick, spur of the moment. And you're going to be meeting people that may remain anonymous due to, you know, all the black vans that have been following you around. Why wouldn't you consider using a burner phone? They do have burner phones, I'm sure, in Great Britain. You know, you pay as you go. You go to the store, buy one, get a SIM card, get a plan, use it, abuse it, toss it out. You can even use a hammer to destroy it, like Hillary Clinton. You know, Hillary Clinton had her own server. You know, we can set you up. Once again, I wanted to point that out. Contact here that I trust. He can set you up with a hosting package, virtual private server in the US and Canada, a couple of locations in Europe, as well as Japan and Australia. You can do with them as you will. You pay the bill. I could care less. Probably cost you, I don't know, starting at about $10 a month. Spend another, you already have a domain name. Toss out another maybe $30 for a year. You can get yourself a Komodo SSL. That way you can have encrypted website. Give you a little green lock in a person's browser bar. Getting back to this, why would you use your cell phones, both of you, your American cell phones, and go to the probably the most monitored spot on the planet where several people will be able to track you, log you, as in geo-tracking, follow you around everywhere you go, with everybody you meet and triangulate, and then collect the info on those persons that you interacted with. Everything you know. You're proficient in Vault7 apparently, so you know that every single device that is on the market is compromised. And since every single product on the market, from wireless routers to computers, operating systems, pretty much everything that's proprietary. If it's proprietary, it's compromised from the get-go. You know that, right? Okay. And while you were in the UK, something I've seen a couple of comments and there's a little chatter. You spent a lot of time on Embassy Row. Why didn't you go take a journey around London and like go check out what was going on with that hotel fire maybe? Or go interview some people about the Brexit? Oh, looks like I have a very bad connection. I might get over that. Why wouldn't you go check out, you know, what's happening with that Corbyn cat? Seems to me like there's a lot of things that you could have went and go, since you went to London, and went and checked out while you were there. Instead, you trolled up and down the street, thinking that everybody and anybody that went down that street was going there to visit Julian Assange. Yet you go visit, try to visit, demand to visit with Julian Assange, which is really perplexes me, demanding a visit with Julian Assange. And on top of that, I think it's pretty rude that you treated the Ecuadorian embassy staff like they were your personal messengers, like they don't have anything better to do. They're doing a favor to Julian Assange. They're not doing a favor for you. He's there for his protection, not there for creepers like you. And it would be obvious if there was anything to you. You did submit those files that you encourage people to distribute after you made them publicly available, those DNC files. You submitted them to WikiLeaks. We watched you. Did they get back to you and tell you whether or not those files were authentic? Yet you dumped them out into the public. You do know that WikiLeaks always makes sure things are authentic before they dump them out there, right? Well, you didn't do that. And the problem gets here. I have it at the bottom. And you want to crowdfund. I for the life of me can't figure that out, my friend. Let's see if we can get this window out of the way. Yeah, we can. Huh, look, there's something. That's coming. That'll be something that's coming. Let me get rid of my Office Libre. We're going to go back here. So, you know, this second comment that shows up, that's my comment. I have a screenshot, once again, that shows. I put something to the effect of, first shadow ban commenter, blah, blah, blah. And it was very close to Christian Thomas. See, you notice how I saved this window in a timestamp fashion? Another thing I'd like to point out to you is, here, look. I watched your live stream. Here. There, I refreshed it 16 hours ago because I've been checking some things out because it's something I cut. Now I want to show you something. This is your live chat, okay? I don't know if you can see this, but I'm not logged in. So I'm just a Joe Blow, Schmo, Ruckamaro, okay? Watch what I can do. Watch what I can do. I can simply go over into this box, go like this. Let me bring my little paper over. Da-da-da-da. I'm going to make a whole new page. Okay? I'm going to go to the top of the page, and I'm going to do this. Watch this, Jason. Whoop, that didn't work. You got me on that one. Hold on, hold on. Let's do this. By the way, I think that's my channel up there. So let me leave that there. What the heck? Could be my channel anyway. Look. Wait. A little spinny. Go ahead, spinny wheel. Dump it in there. It's pretty long. Let's hope we don't freeze up. Oh, we might freeze up. I didn't know that chat log was that big. Might be. We'll let it work. Did it? Open it back up. See what happens. No. Ooh, wow. That is a big chat log I think I got there. You know what happens when I do that? It's pretty magical. I think I might be able to... Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, oh gosh. What do you know? Say something. What do I got to say? What can I say? Oh boy, that is a big... How many pages is that? 25 pages at least, I think that was. Holy crap. Look. Wow. Looky here. Images and all. Isn't that beautiful? So that means I can go check out everybody's profile. Can scroll like a dog. Look at that. Oh, look. Message deleted. Charlie Johnson, your message was deleted. You must not have had a very good comment. Okay? Oh, Charlie Johnson, they really don't like you. Look, and this is just the end. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay? Just wanted to show you that. That's how easy it is to do that. That's how much you really worry. You don't even know how to do that yourself. I watch your commenters losing their shit trying to find out where are the chat logs. And then they say, oh, the chat logs. The moderators have the chat logs. So your moderators have the chat logs. That's fantastic. They're not sharing them with anybody, are they? Because what ends up happening is they just become comments. Oh, look. What kind of horse shit is this? Oh, that's great. See? Comments. There's a couple of people that ask comments. But there's more important things than that. Because, see, look. Still, 16 hours ago, this is what your description looked like. Okay? Now, you've updated. See? You've updated this. And you have some stuff. But it wasn't there. And I can prove it because it's not here. Okay? I did have that window open. But when I had the chat going on, later on it refreshed that page. But it did leave the chat open because I didn't shut the chat down. I froze it open on purpose. So there's another, that was the one that, see, look, here we go. We have the proof right here again. This was 14 minutes after the live stream ended. That was your description. Nothing in there. You already had those views. I went through that. And let's see. I'm going to bring up this one right here. This is a fantastic freeze. 3 seconds explains you and Trish. Look at that. You're shocked. She's devilish. She's got you. And you're like, what the fuck? So at this point, you see, stream live 4 hours ago, I got it. This is after you had some videos. Become a sponsor of Crowdsource the Truth. Legal disclaimer. Sponsorship of Crowdsource the Truth is made at sponsor sole discretion. Sponsorship funds are not tax deductible, are non-refundable. Why are they non-refundable? You're demanding people to get their money back from Robert David Steele. Why are yours non-refundable? And they do not represent any ownership, equity, interest, or decision-making authority in the organization, which means you're the king and everybody else is your servant, and you're going to make money off them. And people accused that you were going to do this in the beginning, and it looks like you have. So now we're going to go through some comments, okay? This comment right here, you're going to have to go down through my feed because this is not the one that is that I'm going to highlight here, that I actually got myself all prepared for. You see that? That thread. Jason Goodman answers the question from Lily Canna. I do not Facebook, but I will support you. And then Bailey B said, Lily Canna, I stopped using Facebook on my mother joint. You know, meh, whatever. So then Jason Goodman says, thank you, Lily. Many people share your concerns about Facebook. You do not need to be on Facebook to sponsor Crowdsource the Truth, even though you have to be on Facebook to see what the fuck's going on their fucking group. A more integrated, less Facebook-dependent online presence is one of the things we have planned for in the future. In the future. So there's the PayPal. PayPal me. Crowdsource the Truth to PayPal me. Legal disclaimer. Once again, he mentions this, okay? Sponsorship of Crowdsource the Truth is made at the sponsor's sole discretion. Sponsorship funds are not tax deductible, are non-refundable, and do not represent any ownership, equity, interest, or decision-making authority in the organization. Yes. So then we have 9/11 Body Snatchers 322 says same. If you feel you were harassed in London, Jason, well, that's the opposition I've faced on Facebook, being a deplorable and early competitor in their space. Next comment, Jason, good job. Let us know what we can do other than donations to help. Fantastic, 9/11 Body Snatchers 322, but the only thing they want other than your money is all of the personal info that they can gather about you and to connect you into the mix, so that later on down the road, they can claim plausible deniability while everybody burns for their shenanigans. Oh, did I go down all the way there? Okay. All right. So, and I know that the screen isn't too nice, but I have screenshots. You can go all the way down my Twitter feed, and you can see all of the screenshots. Now this right here, because I have a very bad connection. And I have a very bad connection because all of this I'm doing, Jason, oddly enough, is on an obsolete smartphone. It's obsolete. You can see the screenshots. It says no service. It's not connected to anything. It wouldn't be worth connecting unless I was, not caring about something like that. So let's open up this show more, okay? You have updated your legal disclaimer at least 12 hours after. And this comment right here, I mentioned the shadow banning on being the first comment. No big deal. I can't really do anything about that to a certain extent, but I found out something here. Okay? This is what I found out. I found out. Oh, Valerie? Oh, I do have a screencast program in my computer. Right now, Jason and his crowd have, let me open that up so that I should be able to do this and pop out the chat. I'm sorry. I meant to do this so that I could answer the questions, or the potential questions that may possibly show up. So let me run it over here. Maybe shrink it just a little bit and see if it'll load. It might take a moment to load. But that's why, and that's why I can't type answers within the screen, sadly. Let me move this down so I can make sure I can see my tabs. I am going to be eventually doing this. He caught me in the middle of a project. This web shop project is, well, yes, I've already been screwing around. If you look down in some of my other videos, I've tried out Open Broadcast and Wirecast, but those look like they need a little bit of screwing around and playing around with. So right now what I'm doing is I'm focusing on using the obsolete device, this old smartphone. Oh no, that's fine. I'm glad that you asked the question. I was hoping that. But I want to use this device because it has to do with the web shop project, I guess, simply stated. So I guess let me pick back up with this particular comment where I have definitely caught the shadow ban in action, and this time I actually have it confirmed. So if you look here, I have gone to, can you see that? That's the direct link to a comment thread that I made a comment to, that I fortunately have the ability to get alerts for and notifications. Even though I'm shadow banned, I don't get it, but it works somehow. It was just something that came across, and I was fortunate enough to cross with someone who could verify it. And I wanted to show that there's 27 comments here, and I'm going to open them. And once again, I went to and actually probably pissed off a couple people because I posted all of the screenshots from within my app on my Twitter feed. And there's 40 of them in total the way I see it when I'm signed in. So there are other ones, but we'll scroll down. I already have them all open, so you see there's no show lesses there. I've already opened the whole things. And right down here, let's see, I better go a little farther. Right down here, you can see this right here. This comment by Rocky Funkenmeister 4 hours ago with a like. And I'm pretty sure that's my like. That he is answering a question from WebShop. So what I did, if you see here, is I noticed, hey, I was in that thread. Geez, I need this battery to charge. I can then do a video response of that specific video that can cover several things. So, and then I warned everybody, well, this thread might get ugly because I might as well post the entire thread with overlaps, meaning I want to make sure that I have extra text within every single picture so that they can be matched up so that these clowns don't claim that there's some sort of conspiracy and somebody's doing something. So I have 4 per slot. And they're not really in good order here. Whoops, let's see. I need to do this, I believe. Oh yeah, here we go, I'm sorry. So there is Michael G right there. 27 replies. And I see the highlighted reply. That's how my link shows on that page, if you noticed. And there's my first shadow ban commenter. Oh, let me see if I can get that up there. Crap. I'm not going to be able to scroll that up, I guess. Oh! Let me back up. Let me back up. Nope. It disappears because it goes into the comment thread. And I think I ended up going back. Oh, there we go. There goes the expanded comments. And then, yeah, I guess I have a little screw up there. But it's not that easy to figure out which ones to post up. But, and the photos, I tried to do as good a job as possible once again. So I'm just going to scroll through them real quick. Because I believe they ended up coming up backwards in the feed. At least when I looked at it, the times were the newest one was right at the top below that one. So here goes one of my comments. Bullseye, successful capitalist turned grifters. Not only that, but Jason admitted that he uses corporations. Read more. Let's see. Oh, there goes another one. I guess I might have duplicated a couple of photos. Ah, there we go. I'm back. Yes, I did. It looks like I might have put a couple of duplicates in this file. There's a reply that I had to Jennifer Morley. Sadly, Jason and Trish just proved they are grifters. Simple as that. Successful pedigree capitalists do not solicit funds from the plebs for their pet, and I believe it says projects. And then there's another comment of mine right below that to Rocky Funkenmeister. It says bravo, but I don't believe Rocky seen that one. See there, I expanded the conversation there. So there goes the Rocky again, followed by Larry, and then someone made a comment that is missing now, but it is in one of my previous screen captures from way earlier. I replied to FOHDFW, who mentioned crowdsource the money or something. So I just put, show me the money. And then I said, FOHDFW, hat tip to ya. Crowdsource the money, the hashtag is born. And you can go on Twitter and go look up that hashtag, and you should see, let's see if, let's see, crowdsource the money. No results. Should be one result. No results. Wow. Let's see. No results, even though it's there. But hey, it must be a conspiracy. I think it is. I think there's something fishy about you guys. That makes me think that. Okay? You got shadow banning going on. You have somebody in the background in the Facebook, I mean in the YouTube and the Twitter doing some crap. So we'll just keep swishing through these just to get them logged, just for the metadata. They're not really perfect, but you get the idea. And there is this user, Wild Circumstantial, Walking Galaxy, he says, wild circumstantial educated guess, not based on fact, but I'd put money on Larry Klayman sponsoring and or compensating for them for results, exposure, or what. So I commented to him because I didn't see his on the desktop with a non-signed in browser. I think you may be shadow banned, friend. Whilst I can see your comment via this. Let's see, I opened up his comment there, so we have to go somewhere else. I continue. Whilst I can see your comment via this app, it is not visible via a desktop that is not signed in. And I have some, I added some bonus ones to this after that show the desktop version. And I picked it up. Looks like I duplicated a lot of crap. And there it is. I think you may be shadow banned. And then my next comment is, as a matter of fact, I can't see your comments unless I specifically click on the YouTube alert. Let's see, is it here? And it says, I expanded the other one, I'm sorry, to go back. Oddly, if I replying, yikes, oh well. If I reply to a comment from a non-shadow banned user, I still get notifications and alerts, even though most cannot see me. And, oh, and here we go. As a matter of fact, I can't see your comments unless I specifically click on the YouTube alert. It is not below Rocky F's comment. If you like, check out my twatter. And then, there goes Rocky. Yep, can't find you unless I don't disturb anything in here. Once I do, you disappear from view. Which? Oh yeah, sorry about that. I made this window bigger. Yeah, they are. They're asking for PayPal crowdsourcing. They snuck it in inside the description hours after they had their their stream was over and they were done uploading. Yeah, there's something really funny going on with those hashtags. This is where it really is getting strange, and how far can you really go to try to figure out what the hell's going on. These guys seem to have a lot of, you know, for all of their conspiracy theories and how everybody is out to get them, it really seems like there's more nefarious things going on within YouTube and Twitter themselves, because both the cult stream and the Web of Questions was the first hashtag I launched, and the cult stream was the second one when I was after that port incident, and everybody was still supportive, like so supportive, ultra supportive. It seemed to get a little bit concerning. So I don't really know. Who knows, that could be a glitch, but they were there. Let me look at Web of Questions. Look, no result for Web of Questions. You're right. And no results for cult stream. Wow. Yikes. So crowd grifters. I did crowd grifters. You can see some of the other ones. Here, let me do this. Well, the problem with that spam thing is that I went and, if you look, when you go down any of their pages, I'll just pick the people that kind of defend them. Like, they don't have any profiles. I mean, and I'm criticized for being a troll because I started a new project when they talk about CrowdStrike. For God's sake, they talk about CrowdStrike, and everybody that are their supporters, it seems, as you can see, they're brand new people. I mean, Rocky's not a new person. I know that because Rocky carries a wrench in a couple of the live chats. So obviously he's been around YouTube long enough to be a trusted moderator. I mean, I think at this point, I think they're projecting, and I think that there's something fishy going on. I don't have any, I have done nothing wrong. This is a brand new account. that wasn't active necessarily except for in beta and development and screwing around until these guys just piqued my interest, I guess. I was following George along for months and months, since probably about, I don't know, somewhere in the days of 40. I came across him on a couple of comment threads that people were like, hey, check out this George Webb. He's on to something. And then, you know, I looked every once in a while, and then soon enough, they those first 50-some videos disappeared, and George came up with a big, gigantic story on how the deep state or somebody must have came in and hacked his account, and that just seemed way, you know, it seemed kind of believable in a way because of the stuff that he was talking about. And George is a one damn good salesman, I will tell you that. So, and I did come across Jason at through completely different avenues, I guess, sometime around election time, like right before the election. And he had this crowdsource the truth idea. And I was like, wow, that guy's got a good idea, and he's a Hollywood guy. Maybe he's a guy, he's looking for, you know, people to reach out to him and maybe work with him. Well, I know I do web development, and I kind of specialize in web accessibility, which would allow a project he would have. It, you know, would be great for me too. I mean, face it. I could help him actually do something that is backwards compatible, but they, you know, I don't know what happened. He just kind of, you know, blew it off. Every time they ask for help, they don't actually accept any help from anybody. Like, I've seen a lot of people help them and then get dumped and then get accused of being a troll or a CrowdStrike. You know, I don't know how much you can project like they're worse than Hillary Clinton. It's kind of pathetic. And I don't know if you caught the beginning of the stream, but I actually offered out a carrot, sort of. I have a contact here in Canada that I trust, that can set them up with a virtual private server, either here in the US, or in Japan, or in Australia, or in a couple of different places in Europe. If they really want to, you know, have a server, they should have a server. They should have their own server that they're in control of. He should not be redirecting that crowdsourcethetruth.org to that Facebook group. You have to be a part of Facebook to belong in that. And I have a lot of experience in Facebook, and I will never get involved with him on Facebook. That's for sure, because I know how Facebook works. I've run a lot of, I guess, crowdsourcing projects out of Facebook, but I knew back then that the most efficient way and the best use of Facebook was to be able to go in and extract all of your stuff and put it somewhere else. So back in 2011, I found a way how to scrub Facebook pages and republish them pretty much in real time to a WordPress blog or WordPress site. And I did that throughout the whole Arab Spring. And then later on, I would go against my nemesis, Stephen Harper, who is getting out of control, and realized that when you were doing Facebook groups, you could do a simple copy and paste into a WordPress site that would actually convert everything. Like, I don't know if you've seen the what happened when I copy and pasted their live chat, but this is a copy and paste of their live chat into an Office Libre document. I have all of their everything. Hey, there's Joe. Joe, I thought Joe was a good guy, but he does some fishy stuff inside those. So I've been doing this with a copy and paste and putting them up on Pastebin. I don't know that if they noticed it, but a lot of others have. I guess I can even consider opening one up here. Whoops. Which one? I'll use the web of questions. No, I won't. Here, I'll use the chasing data. This is a big one. So they don't like to share their data at all. They could do this. This is their chat log from Chasing Nadra livestream, 21 June 2017. I know that's zinging pretty fast, but it's available at this URL right here. And I did post that before. See, it only looks like 28 people viewed it, and I put it in there as a guest, so it's open source. I'm not, they want to crowdsource the truth, I'll do it. That's a capital A, a capital Z, a small Q, U, C, S, H, capital A. I have a few others up there. They're way the heck down on my Twitter feed. The best thing about these guys, I guess, running across these guys, is all of the beta testing that I wanted to do. They gave me an actual live video, so I could do video responses or, interact and check out some of the things that have changed within Twitter and Facebook, or Twitter and YouTube in particular, since I've kind of had to put those to the side for a while because chasing around projects is just kind of never ending. But this one kind of popped up, so regardless, other people are going to be able to benefit because the web shop project is going to be a learning project that I'm working with a couple of people. Some educators and others technical people, so that we can use a variety of open source software, create a common look and feel of it, and make it all web accessible. Because the modern developers, the young crowd, they didn't have to learn how to code by typing because pretty much everything's done now. Everybody uses a program. So if everybody's going to use a program, then what do they need to know? How anything works within the program. And back before HTML5, there were standards compliance with XHTML, and it seemed like Web 2.0 was going to take everything to make the web accessible for everyone, which HTML5 just gummed up the tracks, and then YouTube and all of them clowns got into it, and nobody cares about anything but what it looks like somewhere, and that somewhere is typically on a smartphone of some sort, which is the reason why I'm using a smartphone to do this, as well as an obsolete smartphone. It's 2 generations old, so nobody uses them anymore. That's why it has such a crappy video or camera, which doesn't even have any scratches on the lens, which is kind of surprising to me. And I've been really trolling around a lot of YouTubers, just kind of checking out how they do their thing, and hopefully, I would have to hope that they quit their crap, but I guess if they don't, then I guess what we can do is keep on following them around once I get to the desktop mode, and see what's going on with them there. It looks like they have started to do some more shenanigans, unless they're just uploading stuff today. Because I've seen a couple of tweets fly up there. Oh, an introduction to Trish. I'm going to end up probably doing a summary because somebody decided that it might be nice to send me a bunch of stuff about Trish, which is another troubling thing. If she is worked in finance in Wall Street, I don't understand why she would be asking, just like I have some of my smart aleck, smarky comments to him, why are these two elitists, one a very successful Hollywood film man who is, in my opinion, seems like he's probably one of the best, and this woman who has this Harvard pedigree that they keep trying to conflate with being a journalist, which is nothing but a business / like bankerish background. And George, I know he's doing his own thing. He's funding his own thing. He isn't begging for cash. But he is obviously a rather successful salesman. And, give him that. The guy is a great salesman. So they all three probably have way more access, at least access to way more funds. And Jason, in one of his previous videos, a couple of his users that he trusts say, hey, I think I want to, I would like to do stuff, but I can't afford it. It's all coming out of my pocket. But then he goes on and says that I had to put all of this on my other corporations' credit cards. From what I understand, when you put something on your other credit cards, oh, I'm sorry, I hope there's not feedback there. I forgot all about that. I'm listening to myself somehow. Sorry about that. Jeez, that was rude. Didn't mean to be rude, sorry. I got to get back to that face. That's just the perfect face. Devious and shocked. So I don't know where they have the audacity to claim broke. This guy is admitting that he's committing tax fraud because you can't use your corporation money for personal needs or personal trips or endeavors to London just to go travel around Embassy Row. Like, London's a big city. If you're going to go to London, there's a lot of things going on in London that do affect us. Why didn't they go to the, to the spy headquarters, New Scotland Yard, or something like that? Like something like George would do. Going out there at least in front, stand in front and say, hey, we're in front of Scotland Yard. We're going to go in there and go ask a question. And then say, hey, we got thrown out of Scotland Yard. Kind of like they tried to pretend they got thrown out of that Oxford event when apparently they were just asked to move to the back, so they didn't get thrown out. And then they built this big conspiracy about how fast Eric Braverman got away and had to hide from them. Well, I know if especially Jason, if I would have seen Jason and I was Eric Braverman, after I know that man went not only to my mom's house, but to my mom's neighbor's house, asking questions and saying, Eric's missing. Eric's missing. You heard the lady that he doxed by her giving her information to him, her name and everything, and her son's name, and he wants to get in touch with the son because the son went to high school or grew up with Eric Braverman. Like, that's an invasion of privacy. If I ever seen it, at the time it seemed in a way that it may have made sense to go to maybe the mom's house and say, hey, we're looking for Eric, but to go spook the neighbors like that, and that looked like a kind of upper class Jewish neighborhood, and it would seem to me like they would be rather suspicious of somebody creeping around and asking questions of their neighbor, just like any other community. But typically the Jewish community, they go to the same synagogue, and kind of like the old Catholic communities or the old Protestant communities. Well, not old, there are still some around, but there are communities where people seem to be neighbors as well as being members of a congregation or various social activities or social groups. So these guys just, are starting to be creepy. And then earlier there was a little conversation that we had on Twitter where something I ended up remembering, and let's see if I can go to my my Twitter here just to bring it up. See if I can find it. Oh, let's see what they're doing. They tweeted out. I didn't get to spam their tweets yet. I might not today because I have some things to do. Oh, that's just those. Blah, blah. We're going to pretend that the black vans were after us. When all of the residents of London have shit cell coverage for the most part, these guys think it's a conspiracy against them. But I also need to finish this particular. This is what I grabbed on the screen grabs that I got of those comments that I tracked on the phone. I also added these. This is what a non-logged in user would see. I cropped them down. I didn't do the whole page like I usually do, but they are from the same page. Stream live. They had already added the sponsorship, blah, blah there. And we just go down, and you can see there are none with mine, none of my comments in here. And there goes, once again, at the bottom. You can't see it on the thing. I don't want to tip it over. I can't raise the monitor anymore. And this stupid tripod really isn't a tripod for a smartphone. At least not this one. And just as a bonus, I figured I would, just for the record, capture this. And a lot of this stuff I'm kind of doing, I guess, just like George would say, and that he's got Jason as a polywana cracker. It's all about the metadata. I don't know what's going on with his idea of the metadata. But let's see here. Did I retweet a couple of those? Oh, right here. There's a thread right here in which I point out a statement that George made on this John B. Wells interview a little while ago. Title, it's episode 751, The Spiraling Rabbit Hole of the Seth Rich Murder Case, I believe, or something to that effect. And right about 4 minutes and 33 seconds, George says something, but if you go all the way from the beginning, the way he says is that up to the 4 minute mark when they're chatting, he first tries to ego stroke John B. Wells, who is far above him as far as reach and maybe likability, trustability. John B. Wells gives George a lot of credit because this is at least the second that I know of interview that he gave him. And then you'll see John actually, after George says, "You know what, John, I really like you and I appreciate you, and maybe I should just play it for itself. It would be better than ad-libbing it." This is the part where I got interested.
Them in order to get the larger story.
Wait, oops.
So I'll just sit.
Oh crap. We'll start right about here.
I have a story left. But I went to Capitol Hill last week, as a lot of my viewers
wait, hold on.
saw.
This will be better because I don't have to collect all the beginning.
The whole network. There's two ways to crack the whole corruption thing. It's I call it the Senate Armed Robbery Committee instead of the Armed Services Committee, unless you consider robbery a service.
Right.
But the whole cabal, Hillary, McCain, Lindsey Graham, Biden, all the people and going back to Lugar, so forth, Democrat and Republican, all connected via these secure BlackBerries, cracking that BlackBerry network was the critical. The Circle Line tour, I don't know if you've gone to Manhattan, but the Circle Line tour is just going by me. And if you've never had it, I'm on Pier 62 right now. So if you've never done that, when you come to New York, don't do that Statue of Liberty tour. Take the one that goes all the way around the island of Manhattan. Somebody just throwing a plug for so people know where I am and what time it is, because they can look back on the schedule.
All about the metadata.
But, so cracking the BlackBerry network was critical. The reason for it was pay to play, and it was the guy on the military side was Petraeus, and this is all in. What's the beautiful part about this is it's all in footprints. So there's metadata to support everything I'm saying. There already is a lot, and if Debbie Watt.
The metadata is Google.
Schultz keeps having hearings, I might not have a story left. But I went to Capitol Hill last week, as a lot of my viewers saw, and that was really kind of gathering the last bits of string needed. And then, in every story there's somebody that there's a couple of people that you have to, I wouldn't say betray, but you have to deceive them in order to get the larger story. So I'll just say that, and I'll just leave it right there. And but let's just say this: the intelligence agencies, everybody probably knows that. I've been fed breadcrumbs through intelligence agencies with the French and the Dutch and the Germans and then all these, and I got them emailed, the proton mail to show it, as well as the Russians and as well as the.
He has the proton mail that he can show it, but he hasn't showed it to anybody, and he doesn't suggest his followers or supporters use proton mail. As a matter of fact, they encourage them to use Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter along with their personal accounts. They don't even advise them that, hey, maybe you should set up an additional computer. Or an account at least, at the very most, to do this. Let's continue.
The Serbians, but it was the people such as yourself. It was the crowdsource the news, crowdsource the truth. I'm sorry, Jason. Crowdsourcethetruth.org. It was the H.A. Goodmans. It was the Jeff Rentzes. It was.
Looks like I missed where I was going. Sorry about that. Let me go. Where was that again? Oh, 4 minutes 33. That was not good. 4:28. Here we go.
A couple of people that you have to, I wouldn't say betray, but you have to deceive them in order to get the larger story. String needed, and then, in every story there's somebody that there's a couple of people that.
Oh, let's go back here a little bit, just to capture all of this.
The guy on the military side was Petraeus, and this is all in. What's the beautiful part about this is it's all in footprints. So there's metadata to support everything I'm saying. There already is a lot, and if Debbie Wasserman Schultz keeps having hearings, I might not have a story left. But I went to Capitol Hill last week, as a lot of my viewers saw, and that was really kind of gathering the last bits of string needed. And then, in every story there's somebody that there's a couple of people that you have to, I wouldn't say betray, but you have to deceive them in order to get the larger story.
You have to deceive them to get the larger story. You have to deceive them to get the larger story. And then you have to crowdfund your crowdsource from a bunch of people that trust you. You are very untrustworthy, friends. And since that was about an hour, with a little extra on the end that probably took a little bit of time to find the spot and navigate around. I think I covered a little bit. Hopefully it's useful to some, might benefit others. And until next time, peace and love.